Welcome to Clankcaster Spotlight, bringing you the founder stories of the Clankerverse, with interviews with Farcaster builders chatting about their projects and the Clanker tokens that power the experience. Brought to you by GM Facaster in partnership with Clanker. Visit clanker.world to learn more. So let's get this rolling. This is our official Clankcaster Spotlight for this week, and we're excited to have it here. Hold on, I gotta find my clanks. There we go.
Hands out.
Gotta get the clanks out, and let's bring up Tim and hold on. Big reveal if I can actually find it. Here we are. Welcome.
Yay.
Welcome, TLDR.
Yeah, and it's good to see you.
And the Cryptoad in the back. I love the Cryptoad. It's my favorite thing about interviewing.
I didn't wear my hat. We could have been matching.
We could have been twinsies. I'd be wearing a Bracky hat, but they don't exist yet.
I'm working on it.
I'm working on it.
There actually are a few. They're very, very rare. We gave some out as prizes at the beer pong tournament to like.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
No, we've been kind of like not anti-merch, but like as a principle, we just try to never focus on something that isn't part of like the primary goal of like what we want to crack. And so it's just like there's always just 10 more things that we want to do other than merch. But you did connect me with the minute merch stuff. Seems really cool. So yeah, I'm DMing with them about it now.
Great.
We should do something. New year. Let's have a little fun.
Yeah, and they'll handle it all for you. So you
that was the cool part, right?
Like you don't have to do anything.
Awesome.
Like let us buy the merch, Tim.
Yeah. Help me help you.
Just say yes, Tim. We'll take care of the rest. We'll just give you the money. Come on, let's do
There's
it.
Cat Cartel,
Cat Cartel's in the chat. I just want the Bracky hat. I want that little guy.
Me too.
That guy right there.
Okay, we gotta ask Cat Cartel like how we can whitelist you guys and make sure you're at the top of the list for making this happen.
Because we'll just wear it all the time on the show. So
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
You gotta do it. All right. I know. I'm like, I need a Bracky background. So I went to all your profiles and I was looking at the banners, and most of them don't have banners. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I'm like, okay.
Right. We have like one banner. That's another New Year's resolution. That's like merch.
Like merch.
We don't need that.
It's not that important. I get it. Totally.
But no, the banners can be fun. We should do that too.
Yeah, we need just need it. So I made my own background. All right, so let's start.
I'm just going to steal your banner.
Just go ahead. You can. Yeah, steal it. Okay, so we need to level set because I am certain we've got a lot of people watching. This is also on the Farcaster and Clanker accounts on Twitter. So let's start from what is Bracky? To like make sure that anyone who wandered in and is like, I have no idea what this is. And then I want to really dive into like some of the new stuff that you have going on. But let's start there. Like tell the folks, what is Bracky?
Yeah, so simple, like kind of first experience is that Bracky is a sports prediction market that you can use from anywhere. Right. So if you think about like most sports betting apps, they're trying to sort of advertise somewhere and then drive you into their own like app experience, which is kind of their own walled garden. The core thesis with Bracky is meet people exactly where they're already hanging out. Right. That could be an iMessage chat with your friends. It could be on Twitter. Of course, our origin is on Farcaster, right? It could be Base, it could be Discord, it could be Telegram. But like, instead of, hey, I'm having a sports conversation, now I saw an advertisement to get, $200 free on DraftKings with like 3 asterisks next to it. And now I got to go download their app and give them my credit card information and KYC and all that. It's like, no, with Bracky, the agent, you can see your friend make a sports prediction in the feed and say, oh, that looks fun. And within 30 seconds, you can have done it yourself, right? So for us, it's like, how do we create the magic experience of letting people get involved with like making predictions about sports along with their friends and do it as quickly and easily as possible in the first experience. So like that's Bracky, the agent, is who's living in all of those places facilitating it. We do have a really cool app. Sometimes when I tell the story this way, it makes people think that I'm like anti-app. But we also have like Bracky.app. Bracky.app is great. Like we think it's competitive and in certain ways better than, you know, some of the other sports betting experiences. But I think of it more as once you become a power user and you want to look at your portfolio and explore more of what's going on and kind of go deeper into it yourself, the app is a great space for that. But like the core proposition for us is if the three of us are hanging out in Farcaster and we happen to be talking about the game that's coming up tonight or the one that just happened, we want the action to be able to be taken right there. Right. And that's what makes it fun and social and different and interesting. And, you know, there's some other things with this. We use our own Bracky token as the sole currency for all of these markets. So that's what allows us to, the fact that we run our own markets in our own currency is what allows us to do that everywhere version of a sports betting app with an agent that you can do instantly. What enables that is the fact that we run our own markets with our own Bracky currency. I would just say that what people should, a good thing to think about with the Bracky currency is, you know, it's like, it's weird in a way to not be betting with, I want to put $10 on the Ravens, and if they win, I'll get 20 back, right? And so in our system, you know, you're using this different currency. It's like, how much is that worth? Wait, the Bracky price changed since I won. So like I thought I was going to win $20, but then, you know, the 100,000 Bracky that I won is now worth 25 or 15. There's that fluctuation. We think of that as like a feature and not a bug of what we're doing. There's tons of great places where you can bet in dollars and get a very stable understanding of what you win back. There's nowhere where you can bet in the currency of the network itself, right? So what's cool about that is you might be losing some bets, but you're like, wow, but this was really cool. This was fun. I see a lot of people using it. I think a lot more people are gonna use it. I'm glad I own Bracky, right? And so that's really fun for us. And it also is like people who don't want to bet every game, they still feel excited about Bracky doing it every once in a while because they have some of the token. You know, so it creates different levels of, you can passively participate in being part of this network without having to be like an everyday, you know, I won't use the word degenerate, but just even an everyday, like.
What'd you call me?
Yeah, well, you know, some people deserve that.
Yeah, I mean,
you know, but some people are just love to do it, right? And they have their systems and they love to come back every day and are super active. A very different thing for us is that we don't privilege, in terms of the user experience that we want to create, we don't think about privileging the high volume bettors as the only people we're trying to make our experience for. If you just want to come play like once a week or once a month or just once,
just the Super Bowl,
just Super Bowl, or just that's totally okay. Like we want you to still feel ownership and excitement about what's going on, and that this was a great experience for you. Because I think the big opportunity in this stuff is like, how do we get more casual fans to be a part of something? Right. Because the more of our friends who can be a part of this, the more fun experiences we can create. You know, even if it's just once a year for March Madness. Like
Right.
we want to be the go-to place for people to have fun socially around this stuff.
And it is really social in terms of I've had so many interactions that have happened because of Bracky and because of the social graph.
Me too.
So there's a lot of that, and there's a lot of layers to Bracky.
Yeah.
But essentially, from an easy user perspective, the way you're going to do this is tag Bracky or Bracky HQ on Twitter, and say, "Hey Bracky, what are the markets?" You can just say, "What are the markets?" or you can say, "What's the NFL market? What's the NBA market? What's the," and depending on what's going on.
Teach me about the sport, right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know that sport. Like what
Yeah.
should I know, right? You know, who else is doing this, right? So these are the things that's fun. I mean, I think
you could probably, can you even ask it, "Hey, are any of my mutuals have any, what are they betting on?" Can you ask that? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, we have to be kind of careful with it because some people, I mean, blockchain is really interesting, right? Because this stuff's all, it's actually public. And so at first we were just like, Bracky would talk about anybody's bets all the time, right? And like what's in their wallets. And people are like, "Hey, why are you saying that?" Especially people who are in crypto. It's like, "Hey, why are you broadcasting like what's in my wallet?" And you know, we're so deep in crypto that to me, I was like,
yeah, whatever.
Everybody can already see that if they want to, right? Like that. But that experience was different. So like one of the things we're working on is how can we make these connections and like reveal the appropriate amount of stuff to like make it more social like that.
So recently you started rolling out these threads on Twitter with somewhat influencers, we'll say, people who are influential in space.
Yeah.
And Deez is one of the people that I follow, that we each follow each other back.
I love
and so I was able to make the free bet with him. And I thought that the way Bracky handled the social interaction of that, they didn't mention any totals. They just said, this person's all betting on the Ravens and or whatever it was. And I think that's probably the level you're trying to achieve in terms of social ability without exposing how much is in the wallet. And I think that was pretty indicative.
Exactly. Like, I mean, stuff like that. It's all about like, we think of there's the like all the sports betting apps are just trying to solve for like betting liquidity. We're also really interested in like the conversational liquidity around sports. So like, how do we use a bet to start more conversation with people, right? And so I think that loop is really important. It works different in every different space, like it's a bit different if Bracky's in your Telegram group or in your whatever group chat versus being on Twitter versus being on Farcaster, right? We're much cozier place, right? So like that's one of the big learnings for me going to Twitter in September was that naively I thought like, oh, we built Bracky on Farcaster. We built with the design principle that we're not going to do anything that won't work on Twitter. So we built that way for
that was smart.
Months, right? We didn't use Farcaster native tools that we couldn't use on Twitter. Everything we did was about what we could do. Now the night that was, that was great, but like it unfortunately doesn't just work immediately off the shelf in the same way because Twitter is just such a different social environment, right? It technically worked there, but socially everybody thinks Bracky is a scam, right? Like everything's a scam there. In Farcaster, everything's legitimate.
That's so funny.
But in Twitter,
I didn't even know that part. That's so funny.
Right.
So it's just totally different where it's like
That's funny.
The top of funnel conversion on Farcaster was so high, right? Like it's like 30% of people who get a first interaction or an invite with Bracky are then following up and interacting the first time, right? And then the subsequent ones, people come back. On Twitter, it's like 1/50th of that, right? Like it just you have to like, even if you're telling your friend about it, right? Like even with the level of social proof, there's just so much skepticism about engaging with new. And I get it. Like when you're on Twitter, you see so much.
Sure, of course. Yeah.
You see so much scam, so many scams, so much trash. And so there's just it's not that it won't work, but it means that you have to, we want to live in that space with Bracky. So it's like about how do we make the Bracky experience fit? And the thread thing that you brought up was realizing, okay, the thread is saying only the people that Deez follows can respond here and get the free bet and talk and bet on that market together. And that market's just for them, right? So that gets a ton more participation because it's not just like an influencer says, hey, go use this. Right. It's like, oh, if I follow you, you can get in and we can all see what's happening together. And it's creating like a cozier space within Twitter. So we're going to be experimenting with a lot of stuff like that in every space that we break into. There's that new challenge of how do we make it
work for this?
Yes. How do we make the social experience fit there? Because Farcasters is so unique and special, right? It really is. It's such an incredibly optimistic, and I think it is the best place to grow, right? Because you get a chance to discover something in an ideal environment. So like that's the thing, you have something. Because of Farcaster, I know we have something.
Right.
And that gives you confidence. That's why if you just launched this in Twitter and everybody hated it, no one would interact with it, you never would have known that you had anything. Right?
No, you wouldn't have gotten as far as you did.
For sure.
Because you would have given up.
100%.
Like you feel beat down. So I feel like that's the magic of Farcaster is it's an incubator. If you're launching a new project, it is a perfect little incubator. You've got a ton of early adopters. They will be brutal with their feedback in a nice way. But they're not, you know what I mean? Like if you ask for honest feedback, you're going to, and you ask Burr for honest feedback, you're going to get it. Whether you ask her or not, you're going to get it.
Burr gives great feedback. I mean, but that is like and when Burr's giving brutal feedback too, she'll also just say like, this is what I do to help, right? Like I'm not, I love your product. Absolutely. Like I'm not being critical. This is what I'm doing to help. And it's like, where else do you even get people that are that self-aware
and that are thoughtful about it too? Like Derek's another one. Like you have so many people who are using, and they're daily or active users, maybe weekly users, who are also in a chat with you, who also all along the way have been giving you feedback. So it's a whole different animal. But what I wanted to touch on with the Twitter shift is that how seamless on the tech side this worked. Like even if people are pushing back and they don't know you and they're like, hey, scammer, which they do that to everybody about everything. The tech of it worked so well. I was really impressed by that. Like, I'm like, how does Bracky know my, wallet? Like, how does it know me over here? And it just does. And it knows my wallet. It's, it knows me. Like it's talking about the Jets again. It knows me. It's really funny. But I think that makes it so much easier for then us who have been using Bracky for a long time to go over to Twitter and share that. And I noticed you did that with Garrett because this was really cool. The Bracky ride.
Yes.
So
I want to talk.
Can you explain this a little bit? Because it wasn't the same as the threads.
No, it's right. It's like
a little different.
It's like a layer on top of it. And again, people can put this into their mind as this is us looking for what's the thing on Twitter. Like if we find the thing on Twitter, like we are going like friend tech exponential, right? Like, I mean, it's just, if you find how to crack Twitter, right? You are in business, and like that's what we want to do, because that's what's going to make it more fun for everybody. When we have more users, we can have more markets, right? When we have a lot more users, we can start doing like badminton in Indonesia because Bracky speaks Indonesian, right? It's not hard for us to run those.
Hold on, pause it for a second. Everyone needs to know that part. Bracky speaks multiple languages, so you can talk to it in your language, which I'm now saying this in English, so this may not be that useful. But if you are watching this with subtitles or something, tag Bracky and you can ask him in your language.
Yes.
All right, continue.
Bracky has booked transactions on chain in over 50 languages. So like not just like, said hello in Uzbek. Like the Horsefax did this one. Horsefax somehow knows Uzbek. That's not surprising, right? But like, not just like I said hello in Uzbek, but like booked a bet on the Knicks and the to make the finals in Uzbek, right? So that's just like super cool to see.
And Dwoofy wants to confirm he speaks in idiot, and Bracky always understands.
Always.
So there you go.
Love Dwoofy. Good to see.
We love you, Dwoofy.
So to go to the ride thing, like the product there, and we're going to be doing a lot more of these. Is you can, and we're whitelisting these for now, right? So we're going to let primarily Bracky Max holders and influencers select certain positions that they want to ride. Okay, so this might be like your favorite team that's playing that week. It might be like a thing that you're super high conviction about. Garrett did this with Oklahoma. That's where he's from. Like that's his team. They were playing Alabama in the college football playoffs. Garrett rides Oklahoma, and that means that if he holds that position to the end, whatever he bought Oklahoma, he gets a 50% boost on his payout.
Oh, okay.
So instead of winning, $2 million, he would win $3 million if Oklahoma wins and he makes it to the end, right? So he's riding that position. The cool thing is that then people can ride with Garrett.
Cool.
What you do in that scenario is you say to Bracky, like, I'm riding with Garrett like this amount, right? And Bracky will confirm with you, okay, here's what's going to happen. You're putting this money in. If you get all the way to the end with Garrett, you also get a 50% boost on the payout. But here's the catch. You cannot sell your position. You are when you ride with Garrett, you're giving Garrett all the power over your shares.
So Garrett can sell.
Garrett can sell.
But you can't.
He can sell once. When he sells, he sells everyone riding with him at that moment.
Sells. Okay.
So
wild. I love this.
You can't play the market. So once you do that, you're locked out of that market. When you ride with Garrett, you can't take the other side. You can't add to your position, like unless you had another account or something. Like you in your main account that you're doing that with. And it was so fun. I did it with Garrett, right? I rode with Garrett, and there's one of these tweets where we have like some pictures of the group chat of people who are riding with Garrett, right?
Awesome.
And it's hilarious because like Oklahoma goes up by 20.
And everybody loves him. And then,
ecstatic, and Garrett's our hero. And then like slowly like Alabama's like chipping away, and like the game is getting out of touch, and we're all just like, Garrett, when are you gonna sell? Right. And it was so fun. And here's my experience of it. I love, my favorite reason to put a bet on something is two things. Number one, it can transform a game that I would just be kind of watching with passing interest into something that I'm really into. It's like create a favorite team right in that moment. And so I love that part of it. But I also love like finding the other people who are into that game on your side or the other side, right? So it's those two things that are fun to me. Like for me, it's not about like, I want to go play a single player game. Like
Right.
a funny thing is like, I don't even have DraftKings accounts or FanDuel accounts. Never used it. Like I'm not interested in managing a portfolio around sports. What I'm interested in is the way that a bet, even $5 with your friend that you're sitting with, like transforms the game into something different. And this did this for me. You know, we do a lot of those experiences, but I loved it because I got to sit back and care about the game, but not have any ability to do anything. I love it.
Funny.
All I had to do was talk to Garrett.
Right.
But that was fun too, because now I'm still connected with everybody in that group, but I'm not having to trade the game. Right. And some people love trading the game, but like being able to create experiences where you can just have fun is also really important. So it was a blast. Like it's
a great experiment. And I think that's
fun.
creating, somebody just said Cozy Tribes. I was just going to say Cozy Corner, Cozy Tribes, baby. And that's it. Like, right. Yeah. Create those moments with not only your friends, right, in whatever form, but you could be making new friends as part of that because, or new people, or identifying, you know, other Oklahoma super fans or whatever it is. Yeah.
It's an experience. The 20 people who are hanging out in that group chat with Garrett.
Yeah.
We all remember that game. Like really, like we remember that game together and like, is Garrett ever going to sell? Right? Like, why did I do this? Like being on top of the world, like we're all geniuses. We're all going to make extra 50%. And then just watching it dwindle and everybody, you know, pestering Garrett and giving Garrett shit about like, is he going to sell ever? Yeah. And Garrett got, instead of just being him, he got to be in the arena, right? The person who does it, and I've had this experience a lot, right? When I care a lot more if I like put something out there and then like 10 people are trailing me and they're like, oh, TLDR said this, and they're all jumping on that bet. I care way more about am I going to look like an idiot to those
right. Yeah.
than I do about whether I made the 2 million position, right? Like it's the social part is the really fun part, right? And I think that the tricky but fun thing about what we're doing is how do we use skin in the game to create emergent experiences that are social, that become more than what the skin in the game is, right? They become something more. And this is a really good one. We're going to be pushing on this experience on Twitter.
The other thing that this comment, the Draw Father strikes again, that kind of points to is that Bracky community is developing its own memes. It's developing its own language. It's got its, you know, like moments. And this is one of the things. And the draw fathers, when there's a tie, right? And usually it's soccer, I'm assuming. Sorry, football.
Yes.
Soccer.
You know, but it's usually that's where I see it happen. And I've seen this a few times where the draw father comes out.
The draw father is base intern. And he's a huge European football fan and knows a lot about it. And he was betting draw, I think, just because it was like an underrepresented position. Like he's smart about it. But Bracky at some point had created a memory that the base intern loves draws.
Oh, that's funny.
So he was always saying that, you know, that like comments are around like, well, according to your usual fashion, like you're betting draw, or when he didn't bet draw, I'm surprised you didn't bet draw. So then this becomes a meme among us that he plays into, and every time there's a draw, everybody wants to know like what draw.
Did he do it or not? Yeah, did he bet on it or not? Yeah.
And so I think these things, you know, they're all again, to go back to like the discovery of a seed. They're the seed of something, right? Like that this kind of stuff is where relationships are formed and experiences that are memorable and worthwhile happen, right? And sports are great for that. And just like with Farcaster, you know, for this stuff for me is like kind of it's valuable and worthwhile like in its own right. Like it's worth doing just for what we have. But then I'm also thinking always like if we can figure out the way to facilitate that happening in different languages for different sports for any number of people, like that's really something, right? Like, and that's just like a genuinely differentiated product compared to like what sports betting is as an industry, right? And
I
so
think there's a few other differences, like obviously the agent part of it, where Bracky remembers you. You just touched on it a little bit with the memory, but it like so. Okay, I got to tell the Jets story. So, Plants NFT on Farcaster. Like it was trying to get me to bet on the Yankees. And I was like, absolutely not. I will never bet on the Yankees. There's nothing in this world that will ever, even if you give me the funds, I'm not doing it. He's like, okay, how about the Jets? And I'm like, fine. Fine, you know, but I knew it was a losing bet. And I'm like, you want me to bet on the
It's always a losing bet. Yeah,
the Jets to even make the playoffs? I'm like, all right. Like, I know this is going to go bad at some point, but he's giving me 10,000 Bracky to do it for whatever reason. Finally, he goes, okay, you can switch now. No, I'm like, thanks. But Bracky has been so funny about that and brings up the Jets all the time and Plants and like knows the story. Yeah. And it's hilarious. So anytime I even tag it to ask it something completely unrelated, it brings up the Jets now, which is so funny. So it's really fun in that way though. And I like this, like that's a great point with the Draw Father that he's doing it. You know, it's remembering all the different things. And I think that's really kind of special. It becomes it's part of his personality. It's like you know, Bracky becomes this personality, not just a agent. So.
Yes, exactly. And that is a huge, it's a huge investment for us. It's a huge part of the thesis. And if you think about like just how much social is at the center, when the agent becomes a personality, that's a part of the social experience, right? It really is. And I think it's like a super fun, it's a fun thing to explore just generally on the frontier of agents becoming active parts of our lives, right? It's just a fun thing to explore, right? Like how can we make this into a positive sum experience? And the personality is a huge part of that.
Absolutely. And it makes it just a much more fun experience. The other thing that I love is that you can add it to a group chat on Base App.
Yeah.
So, and have those conversations, and it can do, you know, you can be adding bets right in there. And I think that's a really interesting feature that's specific to the Base App. Totally. I think I would love to see it even get more attention for that. Sure. But it did. Well, when they, they did open it. Like they gave it a shout out when they did their recent Coinbase system update. And this was something you had posted that I loved. Base is now open to millions, and every one of them will be greeted with these beautiful AI faces whenever they use Messenger. Incredible possibilities. And the bracket team is cooking. It's going to be a crazy year for sports fans on Base. I can promise you that. So if you are on the Base app, you can tag Bracky in a DM. Just go into your direct messages. You can do it in a group chat, or it can be just a one-on-one, right? You can just, if you're just like, I don't want anybody to know what I'm doing because I'm, you know, you can either use the app or you can tag it in a group chat and just talk to it.
And you can get
So,
some
yeah.
free Bracky. Bracky will tell you this on base chat, but like you can also by just connecting like a social, like a SMS or Twitter, you can get some initial Bracky to just play around with for free.
Great.
So
Yeah.
that you can just
It's a great way to start.
you can just get going, right? Like in the other, like when we're in the public forums, people inviting someone is a great way. Like Bracky gives them a free first bet when someone gets invited by a current like active member. But even in base chat, like we wanted to make sure that everybody can use it. Your point about like group chat and on base, that group chats again are it's a really different space, right? They're much more intimate. And so it's going to be your close friends, like almost by definition. Right. And I think that, you know, what experiences are possible there. Like we just ran something that was very cool where like Bracky just posted a message about college football playoffs.
Yep.
It said, do an emoji reaction for the team that you want. And so all of our max holders, which is people who have 10 million or more in their wallet, they could react. Oh, they're perfect. Yes, exactly. So
it was the exact next thing I was going to bring up.
Yes, this is super fun. And like, this is another experiment, right? Where if you imagine like, what's my first interaction with Bracky, right? And like, one of the things we're working on is like, you know, we got Bracky in base chat. There's superpowers to that because we can, you know, for example, fill your wallet by having Bracky interact with Banker. Your Coinbase wallet is right there. Like all the crypto stuff's super easy to activate within base. But group chat in general, it's like if I add Bracky, this is going to be something you can do like in the first quarter of this year. If I add Bracky to my like iMessage chat as a contact, how do we all get going? Right? Mm-hmm. Like, so what, like if you bring it in with your friends, right? Or your family, like what, like how is it actually going to happen that everybody gets
right?
Right.
Yeah.
It needs to be super.
The piece is like you're missing the wallet aspect of it, but you can like if you have them on base app, then you can do that where you can kind of manage that and help them and get them started. So the first thing for now would be like just get them on base app and get them in a group chat and then do it from there and do a little instruction.
But base wallet is a superpower. It actually is. People are going to want to come into the base app, for example, to be able to have like the most seamless financial aspect of like, how do I deposit? And how do I off ramp, right? Like if I want to turn my Bracky into dollars, right? Like using Base and Coinbase, like Coinbase is going to be a literal necessary step for anybody who makes Bracky anywhere. They're gonna have to figure out how to off ramp it or turn it into funds that they can use on other stuff.
Right.
And I actually think that that's the superpower of Base App. Like that's gonna, when people are thinking like, how do I turn my winnings and take half of it and turn it into some money that I can spend in real life, right? Like that's where like Base and Coinbase are going to shine, right? And so I think there's like a huge element there. But like in your family group chat on iMessage, like we can spin up a wallet associated with your phone number.
Oh, that's cool.
You just sign in with your phone number, and you are a Bracket user as
amazing
usual, as if you had done.
Is that being powered by Privy or and when is that coming? Because that's amazing.
This is a priority for us in like the first quarter of this year. Like we're getting to the point where people want to tell their friends about Bracky. Just like
I would love to. I can totally see doing this. Like I do a couple group trips with friends.
Exactly.
I have one coming up, and like I could totally see doing that with them, where it would be so much harder for me to get them to onboard to an app.
For us, it's like, how many ways can we meet people? And then each step that they want to deepen the experience, that might be
right
on our site, and then that might be signing up for Base and Coinbase because you can off ramp. Like there's kind of layers, but you don't want to hit everybody with every layer instantly. You know, our really a driving thesis of our user experience is meet people where they are as much as possible in a way that's delightful and easy. And so like that emoji reaction thing is, it was used to make the market. So like everybody who reacted, like Garrett and Maritus reacted with the emoji symbol for University of Miami. Like it's the raise hands, so it's the U. So what they did is they split like all of the opening shares that like sort of determined Miami opens with a certain price. So there's already shares that exist so that they can open at their market price. Maritus and Garrett split those shares. So they got them, they pre-mined those shares before the market opened. And so this was like a fun way for our max holders to get a game where they could pick their favorite teams and get free shares before the game, before the market opened.
And I think I saw this and didn't comment, and now I regret it desperately. But
you'll get it soon. We're gonna do all of these, but like
this is really fun.
How markets open. So if you think about like right now,
I think this touches on actually, and this touches on, Tim, like something that I think a lot of people don't understand. And I was having a hard time explaining this to my brother. But I think this like leads us into like the last like sort of big thing I'd like to dive in with you and have you explain is that these are shares. It's not like a traditional bet where it's like win or lose and that's it. It's different. Because it's more like buying a token or a stock or something like that, where it's going to go up and down in value and price and where your entry points are, et cetera. It also means you have opportunities to not lose. I know it's hard to imagine some people in the chat who are, you know, if you're not winning, there are ways to not lose, which is very exciting. So yes, Gilbster. Wait, people are winning? Yes. So, but also, even if you can, there are ways you can not lose by selling at the right time or switching, you know, switching sides. You jump out, jump into the other one. So that was the funniest thing. I think I had bet on the Ravens to win. This was when I was at my brother's house over the holidays, and they were losing and they were going to lose. And I was like, I got to get out. And they're like, why did you bet on the Ravens? You just lost money. I'm like, no, I actually made money. And I couldn't explain that to them.
Losing position for sure. If you get out in time. Right? And no, this is, I mean, it is a feature that is what makes a prediction market is that it is an exchange rather than a centralized offer for a position. And so when DraftKings, they might have like a payout feature that they use AI to say you could cash out right now, but DraftKings is using their algorithm and like their proprietary odds makers to give you like the cheapest thing that they think you might take, right? There's no reason that you think that your cash out position should have any value on DraftKings. If you do that though on Polymarket, it is actually being, those prices are and Bracky, right? But I want to be clear that this is all prediction markets, like Polymarket. It's like trade on Polymarket,
right?
Not just bet on Polymarket, and you can do it live, and it's really cool. So like this is a feature of all prediction markets. I think a point though is that like it's true of all prediction markets. It's just as true of Polymarket as it is of Bracky.
Right.
I think the point though is, right, people don't know that that's a thing. Just like you're saying, it's like, oh, I didn't know I could do that. Normal people don't.
And then they were continuing to argue with me that I was wrong. And I was like, like, here, look at the base scan.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
So, exactly. You can't. So the this behavior is like is kind of a differentiated experience, I think there's always this question of how our prediction markets can do that kind of cool stuff.
Yeah.
The question is not just can you do it? Bracky does it and Polymarket does it. It's also how do people learn that something exists that can do that?
Right.
It's not just about having the thing, it's about having the thing that can introduce people to that experience. How do you simplify it enough that people aren't overwhelmed and afraid to try it the first time, right? How do you meet them where they are, right? These are all the problems we're thinking about. We actually think the winning prediction market product will be from innovating on the front end first,
I agree.
rather than innovating on the rails first, right? So like there's tons of, regulatory advantages that the big prediction market players have already figured out, and they're great products, right? But like, I think that if you can figure out the front end experience that unlocks this for tons of new users, you figured out the upstream part of the problem, and you flow that back to the innovations that you want on the rails and on the prediction market side. So like that's a big part for us, is like this experience is novel. It's true of every prediction market, which is very cool. Prediction market is amazing. But then it's like, how do we reach the people? So when your friends are doing it, it's like, if they can emoji react, and then Bracky, when the game starts, they have some shares. They just have them, right? And Bracky tells them, you have these shares. You can trade them at any time. Here's the prices right now.
Yeah.
Oh, Prof just sold, the price went down. And people are just seeing how it works from being in the chat. Right now, they're starting to understand.
And they get that first taste of how it works without feeling like they lost anything in the process, because they get a little bit of Bracky to play with, and that way they can understand. So I definitely would recommend, if you're already a Bracky user, and you think somebody would be interested, definitely tagging them on Twitter or on Farcaster or on BaseApp, and having Bracky give them a little bit to dive into their first thing is the best way to go. Or tag Tim if you forget and you're like, I don't know how to do this. I know they told me something about this. Tag Tim. He'll help you walk through it.
And I love to sort of see all the initial experiences that people are having, right? Because I think you want to be close to the product experience and see what's working for different groups of people in different environments. And so that's what we're I love just kind of watching and helping with initial onboarding experiences. So definitely mention not just Bracky, but mention me, and I want to help people get started.
Bracky is literally the first and only place I've done any betting or prediction markets, which I'm not for the betting part, for prediction markets. That's true for me as well. So I still haven't used Polymarket because I still can't, for some reason, get on there. I thought it was open to US, but I don't know. I was having issues.
And I mean, again, I love that. And I think the number of people who have never, this is a Farcaster thing primarily, but never bet on any sport, right? There's layers of newness of the user, and it's I've never done a prediction market, I've never bet any sport, I've never watched any sport. Right? We have people who play Bracky regularly who never had watched a sport before. That's incredible.
That's funny.
That is it literally happens, and they become a fan and they become friends of other fans. Now you have a new hobby and a new group of people to share that with. That experience right there, I think this is awesome. That when I talk to certain people about this, they're like, what you're doing is not going to work. It doesn't make sense to not bet on the hardcore gamblers. That's where all the money is. And it's that it's true. Everybody's already competing for that layer of the pie. But the interesting thing is meeting people here and here and here and here. And if you meet everybody where they are, your hardcore sports betting fan is going to want to play with all their friends, and not all their friends.
One's a consequence of the other.
I agree.
it's you know, it's really exciting for me to see like people genuinely. I've had it. I became a fan of 2 different sports during this last year just by using Bracky.
F1.
Like,
I'm assuming. Yeah.
And European football, like specifically like English Premier League is amazing, right? And you hear about these things and you see that like, oh, this person's obsessed with, you know, Arsenal or Chelsea. You know that, but you don't have any experience of like what's so magical about that league.
Yeah.
This gets you into that, and it's like these are amazing. It's like they're just whole worlds there, and it's really exciting to see people. You know, I'm doing it, and just like how fun it is to find a new interest, a new hobby, a new, you know, hero, a new set of other people to experience it with. Like I think that's the magic. And skin in the game, it's like, how does that serve as an engine for creating those experiences, right? Like that's the way I think of it. It's not the prediction markets for its own sake. It's prediction markets for the sake of powering new experiences, right? New interests, new hobbies, new sets of people to do it with, like new memories, right? I think it's very real. And that's like the thing that's super exciting to me.
I think that some of my most fun experiences with Bracky have been things that were much smaller and wouldn't normally interest other people, but like the beer pong at FarCon.
Yes.
Like that was just hilarious. Like you've got this pop-up event last minute and there's a bracket and people are paying beer pong and you know, backing the ones that they think are going to win. 100%. Having absolutely zero information about these people's ability to do this. You know, it was just fun, and being in the room. And same thing with you know, pickleball has been, you know, one of the other ones at conferences. And just like
pickleball one was an amazing,
incredible. Like so fun. It's just so it's just
prediction market on that was like exceptionally fun. And I think figuring out how to make that a experience that is known about and available at scale is very challenging. But I think this is the thing, is like if you get more people using Bracky, the idea of putting Bracky on the family cornhole tournament makes a lot more sense, right? Like, I think there's so many, like when you reach critical,
almost these little micro markets, if you will, and 100%. Similar to like, but you could do that. You know, if that option was available, it could turn into something that you do with a Twitter thread, or it could turn into something you do in a group chat. It doesn't have to be this like big, you know, huge thing, but it could be this more smaller, tailored experience.
It's a very special. Those micro markets are a very special product. People ask for them a lot, and the reason we don't do them as much, except for just like special cases like Cast Out or Beer Pong, or like kind of pop up, is it's not that they're not super fun. It's that they are exceptionally hard to grow as the core mechanism of what you're doing. And so a lot of these choices that we make are sort of like not always about, like the micro markets are super fun, but focusing on events that have more people who are familiar with them, that have a longer time horizon, is like a better way to include a first user. And so like what I'm really excited about, the reason that to go back to the first cast that you said of like very, very, very excited about the next decade, is that the exciting thing for me is just we have so many more fun things that we want to build than we can at any given moment. And so it's like the cool thing is that Bracky is going to have momentum. It's a scale, because it's AI and because it's in every network. It has momentum, which I think of as momentum is the phenomenon of when you get more resources, it makes you more likely to get even more resources in the future. So it's like, it's that snowball rolling down a hill. And the cool thing for us is that the resource is the more users that are using in more places and have familiarity, the more that micro markets are viable, like to fund, and the more that people have enough familiarity that they can start that themselves on their beer pong tournament, right?
Yeah.
That's super hard for us to do as a direct product, but if somebody's been using for a year, it's very natural. Like all of our Bracky community, it feels most natural thing in the world. For a new user, it's not, right?
Yeah.
So it's super exciting.
That maybe it's like a pro or max benefit or something.
Exactly. I mean, there's tons of ways to do it and stage it out. And it's like all this stuff is like very much
so many possibilities.
And it's just sort of like the sequence of doing it. But it's always like better to have the feeling of there's more stuff that we want to do rather than we don't know what we want to do. I think like I'll take the first of those of like feeling like there's more that we want to do like every day of the week.
So coming up, we do have the NFL playoffs bracket.
Yeah.
So that's going to be probably pretty big.
Yep.
Has that opened yet, or
it's not? No, we'll open it.
Okay.
We'll open at the end of this week. We're going to do another chat market. So like if in base chat. So if people want to like upgrading to max, I'll make an announcement about it again. But like max doesn't mean you pay us anything. It just means if you have 10 million Bracky in your Bracky wallet, you have unlocked max. So think of it as like if you already wanted to invest in Bracky, you hold that status and then you get some benefits in everyday play, but then you'll be able to also do that pre-mining game where you can get some free shares of NFL teams before the market opens.
So it'll be similar to this one, which is
similar to that. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna play with that experience again at the end of this week, and then of course we'll have like every game. There will be a big bracket, and then we'll have every game, and we'll be doing some rides on Twitter for the
fun
games. So we're basically going to be playing with like a lot of the experiments that we're excited about and have running. We'll be doing that around the NFL, and these games are going to be like, it's actually like a really good.
If you need a rider for the Patriots, I'm available. So just letting you know.
Yes. we gotta get you. We gotta
not the Jets. That was
the Jets. You don't have to worry about that.
I was forced. Yes, I know. You don't have to worry about that ever. But this has been awesome. So Tim, a few things we should be looking for is more activity on Twitter, more new surface areas like your iOS chat, things like that, iMessage. Anything else that you want to shout out or that we should be on the lookout for? I'm assuming Super Bowl, we're going to have a big moment again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think as you said, that there's two big, two main actions. Is if you're new, just mention Bracky or if you want to introduce people who are new, and you mention me at the same time, and I can help kind of give you the red carpet experience there. So that's like one thing people can do if they're new. If you're already using Bracky and enjoying it, like if the pre-mining stuff sounds fun and it's in your budget to do Bracky Max, this is a good time to do that. You can play around with it. You can sell out of Max later after you do it. You don't have to keep it, but like that's a thing you can do around this if you want to have like another fun experience around NFL playoffs to like go a little bit deeper. And then like when we have Bracky available in different spaces, we'll be, people can connect all their socials, like their number and their Telegram. And so like if you've connected your phone number, we'll say, hey, do you want to have some free budget to do like a chat reaction group in iMessage when we release that? So like we'll be reaching out to people to say, hey, do you want to give free bets to your friends? Like we see you're an authentic, authentic daily or weekly or monthly Bracky user. You have Telegram connected. Do you want to bring Bracky into one of your group chats, and like we'll give some free bets to your friends there, right? So like we'll be using the community that we have to be like spearheading the growth into their groups of friends by letting their friends have free bets in these new surface areas.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
So if you are brand new to Bracky, your best bet, tag Bracky and ask it any questions. So at Bracky on Farcaster or Base app, at Bracky HQ on Twitter, and just say, how do I get started? And it will give you a whole bunch of info. And
he'll always link to the app too. So if you're more visual, you can just jump into the app and explore there and connect social, and you'll get free Bracky that you can also use in the app. So there's lots of ways to sort of hit the first experience, and you can kind of figure out the one that's good for you, and like all feedback or just including me in it to like help you get through that and figure out like how we can make it better for users going through their first experience, like would be great.
Amazing. Tim, I could talk to you for hours.
Yeah.
Will you be at ETH Denver? Is my last question for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that over half the reason that I've been not going to many conferences because they're just not except when we want to see our friends, like it's not the stage of our business where it's like useful to go to conferences. But I want to go to ETH Denver like specifically for your party. So
fantastic. All right, well that seals it. Now we have to do it. We have to do it. It's so definitely going to happen then.
Yeah,
it was so fun.
And I have a new song that I built, but I'll debut there for you.
Oh, I'm very okay. That seals it. That seals it. We got to make it happen. We'll have more info about that later this week. All right. Thank you, Tim. We're going to let you go. Burr and I have a couple last minute things to catch up on, but thanks so much for being here with us. We appreciate you.
You guys always.
Thank you. Bye, Tim.